Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Hello and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema. So today's Thursday. We do apologize about yesterday. Things happened. Everybody understand that. And we know we cannot get upset about things we cannot control. We can't let that take over us. You know, that negative energy. We got to keep it moving, remain positive. I hope everybody's having a great work week. It's almost a weekend, excuse me. So make sure y'all have a safe weekend as well. And remember what I always say, for the ones that do work on a weekend, be thankful that you do have a job to go to. So don't sulk. Be glad about it. We have our part 2 going on today with Miss Larisa Miller. I'm so excited because she's so humble. You know, we didn't get into a lot of things about Larisa. We were talking about giving back, and I would love to talk about that again because that's just who she is. So without further ado, let's bring on Miss Larisa Miller.
Hello, Freema. I'm so glad to be back again. It's always great to be on your show.
And I hate to stop you. I can't hear anything. Oh, God.
I can hear you. And she's gone. Well, Freema's gone. Here I sit. I'll wait. I can talk. You know, last time we talked about, you know, things that I've done that have really motivated and inspired me. And, you know, Freema had mentioned, let's talk a bit more about the business side and what I do on that side. And, you know, truly for me, the give back is the most important part of, it's the nucleus of everything I do, to include business. And, you know, while I do business across 6 continents, large scale technology parks, as technology is the nucleus of the future, smart cities, and there she is.
Sorry, I'm so sorry about that. I'm not gonna let it upset me. I'm gonna keep it moving.
No, you know what? Yesterday I had the airline challenge, and today it's, you know, but you know, it's all about being adaptable and resilient. So Absolutely. Here we are.
Absolutely. I'm sorry about that.
I was just about to start tap dancing when you came back in. So
I came in, I heard you mentioning, is it smart city? Is that right?
Smart cities, technology parks, working on investments in the agri-tech space. If we can't feed ourselves in the future, there isn't going to be another investment in any industry or sector that will make sense. And then some of the really cool projects that I have with some really cool dudes from the NFL and so forth that really are priorities to me. So
that's amazing, Larisa. And I know we touched on this before, but just your drive, just being you, it's amazing. So a little more, if you don't mind, just about, because I came in, I don't know if you already explained it, but the smart city, where is that located and what exactly does it mean?
Smart cities are essentially going to be the roadmap of the city of the future. So it's how sustainable our cities are. It's everything from connectivity and our transportation infrastructure to the health of our buildings, to our waste management, to the way the community integrates within the city. And, one of the really preeminent smart cities under construction right now is my good friend Akon's smart city in Senegal, the Akon city. That's really going to change the entire ecosystem socially, environmentally, and for sure economically in Senegal. And so smart city technologies are a priority to me. I'm a principal partner in technology parks being built around the world because every single industry and sector will rely on technology as the epicenter moving forward.
Absolutely.
So technology is very important. Data management and data storage are going to be critical, and all of this factors into the technology parks. And then, I like to look for companies that have a really interesting solution to some of the problems of the world, both now and in the future. And, those are the ones that I prioritize, whether it's as an investor or a board member or, just however I can accelerate them and help to grow their global footprint. That's a priority for all businesses, regardless of how big or small you are, to now be looking at the entire globe as your community marketplace. Technology has allowed us to expand our supply chains, reach new customers, form competitive collaborations around the world. And that, I think, is going to be the secret for business success as we move forward.
Absolutely. I know we touched on, being global. Don't just stop, in your community, in your hometown, in your state. I was riding past, I live in a very rural area. So one of our local church, it said, we are going global 2021. And I was like, wow. So everybody, well, not everybody, but soon, hopefully everyone would be on that global train. And not stopping yourself, but just going forward. Sky's the limit.
Oh, and people are afraid of what they don't know. Absolutely. That's a lot of the problem we have socially around the world, is that, we forget that we have an obligation to always keep learning about things that are unfamiliar to us, new cultures, learning about religions and people and geography. And this allows you to expand your horizons and thus reimagine your entire business model to really accelerate beyond where you are right now. And it's a little bit scary to step out of your comfort zone of your community and what you've known. And this is what I try to help businesses to do, to imagine their way forward in this very extraordinary global environment, because the opportunities abound if you're brave enough to take those first few steps. And once you take those steps, you're on your own. I mean, you can really sail. It's not such a big world after all when you see that sounded like a song. When you see that through technology, we can be connected and we're not in the same location. Absolutely. And you can be connected with Malaysia and California and Toronto and Dubai all through your computer. And, people are people. There's good and bad people, good and bad behaviors in all countries and cultures. And if we're just respectful and kind to one another, the opportunities that we will have to really accelerate our businesses are limitless.
Right. And like you mentioned, just for Clubhouse, to me, that was a step, even though it's as simple as just audio, just audio, Freema. You're not seeing anybody. It's just audio. You don't know these people. But that was a huge step. It took me at least, I'm going to say, Alan was like, Freema, you need to go on Clubhouse. And I'm like, I don't know. It took me about a month or so to actually do it. So I do understand when you say, you have to just soar. You have to go out there and realize, hey, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. And we won't know unless we do it.
There are people that need what you have, whether it's your product, whether it's your service, whether it's your wisdom,
yes,
on all corners of the globe.
Absolutely.
And, people don't know your value unless you tell them your value and make it known. And you are doing yourself a disservice, and you're actually putting yourself on the roadway to irrelevancy if you see your business space as only the community where you live.
Yes.
And, the Stone Age didn't end because we ran out of stones. It ended because of progress. And we moved so fast. I mean, we are accelerating more rapidly with our innovations, now more than any other time in the history of mankind. When you look at, 15 years ago, Instagram didn't exist. Bitcoin didn't exist. Slack didn't exist. 4G didn't exist. Tesla, blockchain, Spotify, Uber. I can go on. And that's just 15 years ago. So where will we be in 15 years? And it's only those people who are willing to reimagine their way forward, anticipating the cracks in the business environment that they're in and finding innovative ways to fill them, that will be the leaders of business going forward.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. So I'm going to ask you the $1 million question, Larisa.
Uh-oh.
And I make it seem like it's just so great. And then it'd be like, oh, that's what it was. So in 15 years, I don't care if it's a car. I don't care if it's, technology. What do you think? What do you project may happen in the next 15 years that'll be different from now?
Well, it's almost impossible to really prognosticate where we're going. But what I can tell you is that there are elements that are really accelerating right now that will be so important to our future, such as blockchain. Now, blockchain is not cryptocurrency. So many people think that they're synonymous, that blockchain and cryptocurrency are one and the same. And that's fundamentally not true. Blockchain is that platform where all of the information is going to be housed. And that is going to mean our educational systems, our medical records, and the field of medicine. And, every single one of our industries and sectors will be utilizing the blockchain. But just as Uber and Airbnb popped up to fill a need that we didn't realize we even had,
absolutely,
10 years ago, let alone 15 years ago, there's going to be other areas that are only now making themselves known that we will be finding extraordinary solutions for moving forward. In Dubai at the World Government Summit in, I want to say 2017, they had the Museum of the Future exhibit there, where you could walk in and see some of the cutting edge technologies that are being developed. And, things like microchips that will be implanted into our heads that will allow us to talk without talking. We'll be able to communicate. Or our mobile devices will be on the palm of our hand. So we won't be holding something. It'll already be an integral part of us. And really meaningful solutions to problems, such as using virtual reality for Alzheimer's patients, where you can record their home environment, and through virtual reality, they can be in a care facility. And to them, it looks like they're sitting in their own living room or they're sleeping in their own bedroom. And that's really making massive impact to the cognitive behavior of an Alzheimer patient. And so there's all sorts of things that are out there that we can't even begin to imagine. But, if we're not willing to set aside our legacy business model and look at how we can do things differently moving forward, integrating some of these new technologies into our operations and being brave enough to do it differently than we did it yesterday, that's how we are going to be the ones that are driving tomorrow. We won't be the ones stuck in the middle of the road like all of our competitors who are failing to innovate. And you don't want to be in the middle of the road, because in the middle of the road is where you get killed. You want to be the person that is out forging the new pathways, making the decisions on which roads to take. And when you do that, when you're brave enough to do that, you will be the propellant that drives your industry or sector forward.
Wow. I must say, you've blown me away just with, what you witnessed in Dubai. It's like, wow, some of these things I would have never imagined. And here we are already, some people have already generated, it's already, came to life. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. That's scary at the same time,
It is. From rotating buildings with wind turbines in between the floors to really extraordinary measures of sustainability. There are so many countries around the world that are leading the way in innovation. And, I keep saying sustainability, but sustainability truly is going to be the nucleus of the future of business, the mandate for the future of business. Business moving forward is going to have to have a conscience.
Right.
Going to have to care about the environment. Most importantly, it's going to have to care about society. And when I look at the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which focus on each one of the aspects that we need to have a healthy global environment. And when I say environment, that's not just the environment, that's also our social connectivity. But, societies that have, justice and fair institutions, societies that have gender balance, those are going to be some of the most important attributes that we need to work on, that cohesiveness, that diversity, that inclusivity, that recognizing that it can't be us against each other anymore. It has to be us together for a solution. That's really what we have to prioritize almost before we start worrying about hugging the bears, the bunnies, and the trees. Because if we can't be a healthy global society, if we can't see that we each have an equal contribution to make and that we should each have access to equal opportunity, then, we're failing in our most basic and important segment of what we are as human beings.
Absolutely. Have you ever thought about running for president? And I'm being so serious. Have you ever thought about that?
Well, at one point, I considered running for Congress. It's still something that simmers there. And I often joke that maybe I'll do it after my lobotomy. But, it's become such a toxic environment in the political scene. And, it really isn't at a place yet where it's ready to be fixed, sadly. And it's only going to be through people having the courage to set aside what we know to be the party line, let's say, whether you're Republican or whether you're Democrat. For me, politically, I think too often we get so far to the left or so far to the right that's left so many millions of us essentially politically homeless in the middle, recognizing that we need to be bipartisan. At the end of the day, we need to come together to find that solution. And we just are not at that place yet. And, elections, sadly, are, and this is a gross generalization, but I find it to be largely true. is that elections are less about the truthful platform and solutions and more about undercutting our opponents. And that's something that I'd really like to see change as we move forward is, what is your platform? What are you going to do? What makes you the change maker that we need in this particular district, and worry less about what the other guy is doing. And only then will we be able to return to a political environment where we're all working together, to find, those critical solutions that I refer to. So.
And the investor show, he said, what about mayor?
Well, here's my answer to that is that I really don't have a city that I belong to because I'm more or less a global nomad. So I live in North Carolina. My house is here. My company is in Miami. I grew up in Pennsylvania and have so many business projects going in Pennsylvania. I'm in Atlanta, I'm in, Pittsburgh, I'm in Washington, D.C. So I feel like I'm so many places that I don't know that I have, I don't know that I can put that seed in anywhere and water it so that roots take hold where I would be really growing in that one place, because the nature of my business has me everywhere. Now, maybe as I get older, and start to slow down a little bit. But to be honest with you, my dad's 90 years old and still working full time. So I'm not even sure that I can say when I get older and slow down a little bit, because the apple didn't fall far from the paternal tree.
Well, bless his heart. That's amazing. That's good. So like you said, I guess you'll be doing the same thing. I'm pretty much certain. Wow. I'm impressed. Larisa, I don't want to hold you too long because I know you're very busy, and you not only did this one time, but you did it twice. But before we conclude, hold on, look like someone said something. My question, a lot of networks want to produce a show about me hosting Club Annabelle. Since I'm the magic helping people get funded and build up their brands, which network is the best to sign with?
Got me there.
I'm not sure either. I'm sorry, Annabelle Gutman. I do apologize, but maybe there's someone out there that can give you some feedback on that's viewing. So y'all make sure y'all try to help Annabelle out. We work together on this thing. But Larisa, I do have a question. Water is coming in my brain. Tell us about the water, the brand that you have.
This was a really big divergent path that I've taken in 2021. I've always been, I would say a service-based business. I was head of business development for some members of the royal family in Abu Dhabi, and so I was focused on sustainable business. As CEO of Phoenix Global, we're working on large-scale projects, consulting with businesses and governments around the world. So, when I found a really compelling product and had an opportunity to be able to bring that to the United States and really exclusively build a brand for a wonderful water out of Slovenia. It's the most magnesium-rich water in the world. I thought, this is one of those things I'm always telling people, try something new, take a divergent pathway and see where it leads you. And so this is my divergent pathway, and I'm really learning an awful lot about the product space and marketing a product. I have an extraordinary team behind me that is really committed to and embracing water. And it's a learning experience for me. The water is Roy water out of Slovenia, ROI, which to me resonates because I think of ROI as something entirely different than water, but it just sort of fit. But it's an extraordinary brand, and if I was ever going to take on a product, it needed to be something that really stood up with my values, my commitment to sustainability, and is something that is really unique in the marketplace. And I've found that, and I'm learning right along with everybody else. But it's interesting and it's fun, and I really hope to be able to do some great things with it here in the American market.
Absolutely. So, you are. You got this, Larisa. You rock. You rock. You rock, honey.
We'll see.
Yes, you know that you do. You have such a great aura, a great persona, a great spirit, a great everything about yourself.
I love you. You are one of those women. I say, surround yourself with women who would mention your name in a room full of opportunities. And I feel that way about you, Frima. So
thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. Well, Larisa, again, I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on, speak with me, give your story to the viewers, give them something to look forward to and give them hope, because it's possible, and like you said, you just have to go out there. You have to do it. Don't hold yourself back like I did. People, do not do that to yourselves. Don't doubt yourself. Go out there and do it, and never, never, never worry about the what ifs, because if you worry about that, you'll never know. So
no, it's all about courage, Frima.
Yeah, right.
Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision, and courage is the anti-venom to regret. And you don't want to wake up at 80 looking back on your life with regret. Sometimes it's terrifying to take those first steps into a new career, or make the decision to become an entrepreneur, or to go back to college at 50 years of age. But all you have to do is take that first step, which leads to the second step and the third step. And before you know it, you're on your way to achieving that goal that you set for yourself. And, if you make a mess of today, forgive yourself and start fresh with the sunrise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I couldn't have said it best. So we're going to leave that there. The lovely Larisa, again, thank you. Everyone, thank you for tuning in on this lovely Thursday. You guys rock. Make sure you guys stay productive. And make sure you compliment someone. Be kind. It doesn't cost you a thing. And Alan said, what's the website if someone wants to order this? How do I say it? Is it ROI water, or is it
Roy? You can find it on Instagram at Roy Water USA, or on my business website, which is phoenixglobal.co.co. Under purveyors in the drop-down menu. You can find the water there. So it's a good brand. I'm really proud of it. It's something that I'm happy to have my name attached to.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alan, for reminding us of that.
Thank you, Alan.
Alan rock. Okay. Well, until next time, you know what we always say on Let's Sip and Talk with Frima. Peace and love.